I mean, doing this bishop thing, this could go really wrong. You know, the ruse idea is cool, but I think we should try to track down the embryo first. Just because if we go this bishop route and we do the ruse and try to learn more through him, best case scenario, we get more information, drop the bug and leave. Worst case scenario, we're dead.
You're not hailed. There is no comms. Nobody notes you. You kind of creep up on an empty dead space. As you peer and the lights actually of your vessel hit the side of this tin space station and runs across, what you see is that it did have a name written on the side of it. It has long been painted over. You have to double take. But slowly, you read the letters as they kind of peer through a thin layer of paint. USS Sulco.
Okay, well, that's not good unless it could have been used as scrap. Okay, Ren, just I'm just gonna hail them now. Okay, you ready, Barton?
I'm ready for this.
Okay. Come in, USS Sulco. This is Big Bessie looking for safety in docking.
There is static on the other end of the comms and no response. For a while, there is no response, and eventually you hear,
"Docking bay initiated. Please enter the password."
What's the password, Barton?
Thank you for returning, Michael Bishop. Please enter your password.
How would I know the password? And how would I, who the hell
realizes that this was once a military vessel. Yeah. Except where the weapons rack should have been, where the wall seats fold down, it's all been cleared out. Instead, now there have been large computer servers installed along the walls, coolant systems to keep them cool. They've repurposed this entire vessel. As you hit the enter button, a whole wall lights up. And you see that that wall has been replaced by multiple monitors. Live camera footage of the surface of LV-426. Panic sets in. You see video footage of what probably was a colony. At least hope. What's left of it. You see a familiar shape. That strange horseshoe shape of a large-scale ship. Another one has crashed here, or either didn't make it off the planet's surface, you're not sure. You can see that they've built a research facility around it. Most of it seems to be smoking and burned out now. You see no humans, but you definitely see xenomorphs. 1, 2, a dozen there. Camera showing a nested area of eggs, 20, 30 of them maybe. Bodies, hollowed out, open chests.
Well, if we have a lot of data to transfer, either through hardware or software, I mean, we already have a bit of a ship train going. Why not add a third?
I was thinking about just you guys coming on over here. We exchange the data, and then we set this ship here on a collision course with the planet.
Ace begins kind of clicking through, trying to get this to transfer. Oh no.
What is oh no?
So if I start transmitting the data over, not only is it going to take a while, but it seems that it's set up and there's no way I can get around it. It's going to send out a signal to let somebody know that data has been transmitted from this location. I imagine that would be Bishop.
Yeah, and all the more reason for us to physically remove said servers and bring it with us.
Because there is another option if we don't want to let Bishop know.
Yes.
But it's more difficult.
Okay, let's hear it.
On the outside of all vessels, there is usually a direct in, a way to directly connect from one ship to another. Not a docking, but an exterior port, if you would. Mm-hmm. This would allow us to bypass his restrictions and the signal that he tries to send out. But the only way to connect it is from the outside of the ship. Okay, as you stare down at this planet and it clicks into place, everything has gone far too smooth. Maybe it's just because you are a pessimistic person, or maybe it's just because things have just gone far too smooth for far too long. But something out of your corner of your eye catches, and as you look, a piece of space debris comes barreling through, and it knocks right into the cable line between the two ships.
Arise, beings, and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here for the episode of Alien Genesis. This is our third and final season of this Alien saga set in the Dotverse. That being said, if you guys like what we do here and you want to support the channel, the best way to do that is over on our Patreon. Link down below. I've been talking in the Discord all day and over on Twitter. Go there. Go there, and if you don't want all the fun, cool shit you can get there, go join the $2 thing. You have no idea how much $2 helps content creators, especially consistently every month. While you're down there clicking on that and joining that, go join us in the Discord, be a part of the community, be a part of the conversation. And as always, in the bottom right-hand corner, you will see the corruption bar. That bar serves two purposes. One is when that bar fills, Dot tries to kill us with aliens or injects space monsters into our blood or something like that. And two, every single dollar that goes into that bar goes back to these wonderful, amazing faces that you see here before you. And with that, I turn things over to Dot, who's trying to kill us as two of our party members spacewalk.
No, as I remember it, Chat was trying to kill you with that corruption bar. I think, and it wasn't just all of you, it was somebody very specific, which is Rin. But Rin's not here right now. So just to remind everybody, the external connection to download the data directly was successful. Except that, the Sulco didn't get here without a little bit of space debris and space battle, and a large piece of space debris came tumbling into Rin's vicinity. It missed Rin, but it caught the cable. But this takes a while, and there are 2 members left inside the ship. While this happens, which is going to take a couple hours, okay, this is not a fast thing. It's a relatively safe thing, as much as spacewalking can be safe. What are Barden and Kitchens up to? Now, last time we saw Kitchens, he was having Vince help him eject the rest of the, black ichor from his system that had been stored there for quite a while.
Well, I think we see Kitchen's probably doing much of the same. He's probably still investigating the point progress of basically a state of de-escalation for some of the cellular matter of either the progenitor that I have the cellular sample of, or of what I think is a common DNA matrix of our facehugger and Xeno.
All right. Are you with him, Barden?
No, Barden is still on the amalgam of the Sulco / whatever other.
Oh, you're
chunks.
watching the okay. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
really bad. I didn't know you were on board still.
Yeah, he never left. So basically, him and Rin were on the ship, and then everyone else took the Monstro over to us, and Barden has not left. In fact, he's with Ace in the cockpit watching the files transfer. He's scrubbing through some of the scenes.
All gonna be okay.
And information.
Okay, Kitchens, you're in your silent lab. Do you have anything that you would like to roll, or any ability you want to use to ask questions about the research that you're doing? Because in 2 hours' time, you're gonna be able to deduce a few things.
I think I'm just waiting. If there's a way that I can expedite this process, I don't think there is. I think sometimes science just takes time. So
yes.
It's just sort of waiting it out. I mean, if I can do any research on additional things that may cause direct conflict to a hive or a colony like structure, I will. Obviously, I know that fire plays a major function. So unless I have access to massive amounts of explosives, I think I just got to let science really kind of take hold here. And
figure this one out. Okay.
Got to run the numbers.
Okay, so you let the numbers run. There's actually a few bits of information that are running in the vessel right now, including the face recognition from Vince that's been running on the computer in the background for quite a while. And now this data. I imagine Petri dishes are involved, and science gloves, and special beams that read data and put it into the computer in scientific ways that Dot doesn't understand, but Kitchen sure does.
Sure.
Dot, I'm curious, what are science gloves?
Gloves for science.
Yeah, gloves for science.
Oh, okay, cool. Just
right,
checking.
like you have gloves for going out to dinner. and you have gloves for formal dresses, and you have gloves for cleaning the kitchen, and then
You have
kitchens
gloves
has
for
side
handling
sauce.
sassy players.
Yeah,
It's true.
yeah.
I wear them very well.
Those
For
are
Game
you.
with
called
their
kid
gloves.
gloves.
So yeah, it runs, and it is going to take a while. The DNA information that comes up quickly, we'll say the stuff that like surface processing in 2 hours is revealed to you.
Okay.
Well, roll a Medicaid, because it all comes back in DNA jarble, which if you've ever seen somebody's DNA printout, is just a bunch of like numbers and letters and most things that don't make sense to the average person.
I got 3 successes.
Oh, fuck yeah. Okay. Okay. So some things surprise you. The readout tells you that the DNA makeup of this is made to be weaponized, has been augmented, created to be what it is, this weaponized world destroyer. Whether that comes in the form of a xenomorph or a facehugger, or all the many ways that this core DNA strand has been augmented through natural process, some of it.
So am I seeing
things.
markers? So like this is something I found out that like when there are edits to either medicines or to things of this, like even things of this nature, there are like markers, basically like almost marker points or like bragging points of like, hey, I've been here, I've done this. Am I seeing anything that might look like a marker that may have been left by David, or does it predate?
On this, for my knowledge, this is the black spores, correct?
Okay.
Right, this is the black spores that were in your system that you inhaled.
Yes.
Okay, not the black ichor that David was experimenting. So
Correct.
actually what you find here is that this seems to be a natural genetic mutation of what the original chemical agent is meant to do. So much like you just saw the last planet, where it over time spilled out, killed stuff, changed it, the ecosystem redid itself. This, whatever this is, this fungus, or these spores from this fungus, are just another augmentation of the original black weaponized biological agent that you have in a petri dish stored away somewhere else. It just so happens that the DNA seems to adapt to be a weapon, which means that like everything that comes out of it is a killing machine in some way, shape, or form, that its instinct is to take over. It has the hive mind mentality. Eat, grow, build, procreate.
Okay.
Queen, right?
Okay.
So it all has that. So even these spores, which came from a fungus, a plant that probably doesn't even have sentience necessarily, but it wanted to attach itself to a human DNA, to genetically mutate, just like it does every time, no matter what form it's in. This just happens to be another form of it, from what you can tell, and a very old form of it. It seems to have been on that planet for quite a long time. It's not a fresh sporling.
Okay. Let's see here. Can I? How close? Looking at the chemical makeup of this fungus that I managed to retrieve, for those that are watching at home, from my milkiness.
Yes.
How similar is it to the chemical breakup of the cordyceps fungus? I still want to lean on this if I can.
Oh yes. Dot doesn't know a whole lot about the zombie fungus. Right. I can't believe I'm searching this.
Because I already know that
Black
like cordyceps can
milkiness.
infect
Ridiculous.
cordyceps can infect humans, right? Because
Right.
we are better, like our
Okay,
bodies are
okay,
better at
okay, I'll tell
at
you
dealing
this.
with pathogens.
Okay, I'll tell you this. It's different. The fungus is different, and here's why. I can answer this flat out for you.
Okay.
This other one is created as a biological agent to manipulate and biologically change things to grow naturally. A face hugger, a xenomorph, it creates a natural ecosystem, new life process, right? Egg, face hugger, right? The other fungus is not part of the same. This fungus that you're looking at is a weapon. It's a carnivore. This other one is like a host. It manipulates the wearer versus actually biologically changing it. So the zombie fungus, it takes a hold of the host and simply begins to manipulate its brain.
Okay.
Not
Then
change it or make it part of what is a larger life cycle.
can I begin testing some, I'll just flatly say some science here to disarm our violent and virulent fungus in a way that it may break down if another agent were to be introduced?
Okay, here's what I'll let you do. You can roll another medical aid check to see if you, because that's some back end biological bullshit right there.
So medical aid. I
Yeah,
essentially
roll
want to
another one.
build
Let's see.
a protein that can
Yep.
function similarly, but with another agent introduced, it would break down the subject that it is controlling.
Sure.
2 successes.
Okay. Well, there are a few things that come to your mind. Knowing that this other fungus is a host, funguses are known to take over hive colonies all the time.
Sure.
Just like they could a body. With the right instruments, right facility, right time, you might be able to, say, alter said fungus from Earth to become its own biological weapon against the xeno species, right? Just let another host take it all over and shut it down. Shut the queen down. Infect her. But to answer your question more directly, because you got 2. If this was designed as a biological weapon, it can be redesigned to have its own weapon or its own biological weapon, right? Used against it. So yes, again, over time, you think that you could potentially process something that could be used. The question is how do you use it? And that takes a lot more like, is it going to be distributed through air? Does it have to be distributed in the bloodstream?
I just had an idea.
Like,
Can I find how do I word this? I want to be able to find a material that mirrors a metallic substance that's porous enough for me to seat this spore in. I want to airdrop food to the aliens since they eat metal.
Okay.
Mercury.
Okay. This is
thermometer.
Yeah. Mercury would be a good one. Something that would draw them. You could, I mean, there's a lot of ways you could do this, right? From a scientific standpoint, there are biological or chemical makeups that eat metal, that survive on metal surfaces, like rust, for example. You could try to, you could make things rust faster, right? And infect, say, the metal that's already on a planet with a rust-infected biological agent against them. That would kill them over time. The problem is they only eat metal up to a certain point. They don't all eat, like once they grow to a certain size and they have fit their function in the colony, they don't eat metal anymore. It's part of their metabolism for growth process.
Sure.
So yeah, you could figure out a way to find a metal. You could roll a Comtech check to see what kind of military grade fabrics or materials are available.
Okay. I mean, that's not horrible.
Yeah, rust is just Cajun spice disease.
I got one success, but I got a success. We'll take it.
You got a success. Okay.
Man, I want to funnel this to Barden, right? Like who better to introduce this to than someone that has experience in geology, like
that's
metals
true.
and stone. This is this feels like
I was about to say, when Barden gets back on board, you can ask him. I would say that you find some files that are, even though you successfully like found where they were hiding or where that information might be of like super military grade metals that might be exactly what you're looking for, porous or biologically augmented in some way even, is locked behind a password that you can't get through, or like a firewall. And for fear of potentially setting off Bishop to let you know your location, you're unable to get through. Barden, though, might be a good resource for your problem. So, but the camera cuts. Barden. Where you're needed most is not where you are.
Story of my life.
You and Ace are on this server vessel. You see the I imagine it's quiet. Do you say anything to her? I should ask you that.
No, he's not paying attention to her. She's doing like data transfer nerd stuff. Barden is doing xenobiologist research here, which is different than nerd stuff. So yeah, he's trying to go through some of the data on board this amalgam ship.
Okay.
To see
While they get everything plugged up,
on.
you can roll a comtech check
Let's
and
do
what you wrangle up.
Outstanding. Hold on, I gotta open my character sheet because I'm the least prepared person here. That's me. There we go.
I don't know. It could be me.
It's it's a combination.
I don't know why this week has just
What
felt
are we
like
playing?
so long. Yeah, right. What is today?
All right, comtech. I do. Oh no! Don't die on me now, mouse. That's not what we do. Do I have anything that can help with comtech? I do not. Okay. So straight up comtech.
I mean, you do have somebody with you that can help, and she might, but
No,
I gotta see what
she's
do
busy.
first.
She's busy doing shit. So I will one
so, yeah.
success and a panic -2 is a 2. I'm safe.
Okay. I need to know, what is Barden looking for? Because you only got one success, which means before some shit goes down, you're only going to get some limited information.
Yeah.
Are you looking for? I mean, I can give you some options. Like, are you looking for video footage of something interesting? Are you looking for data files, like research information?
So,
are you looking for?
Yeah. So the latter there. So like Barden has seen them. He's seen them erupt out of a chest. He's seen them face hug, and the only thing he hasn't seen is them ovomorph. Right. He's seen most stages of a xenomorph and a neomorph, and fought them in combat. So he's not concerned with any of the video footage. What he's concerned with is the research data drawn from both people on the planet, from the videos, whatever. Like Bishop is compiling this for something,
Okay.
not just to have a YouTube of alien shit. He's compiling this to reach a conclusion, to reach a scientific conclusion. Barden is looking for that. Why are you doing this, Bishop? What is your end goal for this? Is what he's looking for.
Ooh, that's a big question.
It's a big, very open-ended question.
Okay. Here's what you find. You do find some data that was sent up here before this was a server house. Like, you can tell, like, there's a whole batch of data and files and research and information and security footage that was like bulk sent. It all has the same date on it, right? Even though it doesn't take place at the same time, because somebody bulk transferred it when clearly they came off the planet. So you start going through the older archives, basically. There's some digging. You do find scientific research files that the scientists from Hadley's Hope were keeping. It gives you some stuff that you already know. Maybe some stuff you don't, about how quickly they mature, how incredibly smart and adaptive that they are. You see a lot of failed tests, a lot of names, redacted names that clearly died in the scientific search of whatever these creatures are. A lot of people. why Bishop is doing this. What would you learn that might tell you that?
Yeah, it's a big one.
Okay.
It's a big question.
Okay. Deep in the files, you find some information that tells you that okay, this trip, the Hadley's Hope thing, was very clearly a failed attempt that he hasn't quite accepted yet.
Okay.
And with a company like Weyland-Yutani, when you have a lot of money and a lot of drive and maybe a scientific hypothesis, there are very few things that will stop you from continuing that search even after a fail. What you find is a series of documents that is talking about the next phase of this. That there will be new stations for research opened up. Bigger, better, more secure. Bishop's research and that's what I'm looking for. Collection of the xenomorph sample has already happened. He's already got it. So the bigger question is, why is he following all of you?
Okay.
And
like
you
that.
now know that he's got other massive research stations.
Yeah. I like that. I like that non-answer.
Oh, I will tell you one of the I'm going to tell you one of the planets. Hang on. I'm going to tell you where it's located because this is really important for something that Vince knows. They were doing research at a location on a planet known as Fort Nebraska. The planet's known as Kruger 60. It is a military. It is part of the American corridor. And it is technically not a Weyland-Yutani facility. It is a United Americas facility.
Okay.
Vince. Oh, I'm sorry. While you're clicking away and she's clicking away and looking for stuff, you hear warning, 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 warning from all inside this building as things begin to rattle and shake. And the camera cuts outside to Vince, who at a distance, you can see Rin kind of daftly maneuvers to escape a piece of incoming debris. And with nothing stopping it in space, it crashes right into the cable. The two of you have shared comms. We'll give you a moment to react, and then some bad things are going to happen.
So I just want to make sure that I have a clear image in my head of what's going on. So we are transferring data from the USS Sulco to our ship. And the line, the essentially Ethernet cable.
Yes, yeah, the direct cable, hard drive to hard drive, basically.
Right.
It's huge. It's like this big around, and it's long between your two ships.
which means also probably the last thing that Vince is worried about right now. But that also probably means that whatever data we were just trying to get was just cut off at that point. Exactly, because that's the connective cable, right?
Well, it hasn't cut through it. It's just hit the cable.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the cable's still intact, at least for now.
In this 5-second moment, yes.
Okay. And Vince is standing on our ship?
Vince is yes, correct. You
I
are
think.
on, yes, correct.
And
And it is Rin that is
wins.
near the what's left of the Sulco,
right.
the server, Sulco server.
Okay. Um, Vince, first of all, make sure that he has his balance, because I'm imagining both of the ships are about to get rocked through hell right now. But then would basically shout out to Rin, hold on for your life. And Vince would actually try to start sprinting towards where the cable is connected to our ship.
Oh, okay. Okay, I need a what is it? Maneuver check. Mobility check.
All right.
I need a mobility check because you have basically magnetic boots and you're in space with no gravity, so it's not a very dexterous thing.
Do I have any penalties?
Yes, you do. In fact, you take a -1 for being in a spacesuit in space.
Seems
spacewalking. Roll a panic.
Do I have to roll 2 panics?
You only have to roll 1.
Okay. And I have a perk. I have the same one that
okay,
Barden
so it takes it down 2. So the good news is you keep it together.
Okay.
As you like, you did not get a success, which means you don't make it. You are trying so hard to get there, but in a single moment, it tugs at the cable in space and creates kind of a bit of a pivot point. How do I want to do this? I could be really mean and make both things happen.
How many corruption do you have?
I have 1. I have 1 left, everybody. I used 1 last time to make this scene happen. I'm also trying to think through the physics of no gravity in space. I feel like the debris would cut through the cable first. Because there's nothing on the other side of the cable to like cause friction to make a pivot point for the 2 vessels, which is unfortunate. I know what I'm gonna do. Okay. I rolled for the cable and the debris to see which was stronger. Rolled for the cable first and the debris second. The debris got a success and is stronger. And it does, in fact, after pulling, slice through or at least cut part of the cable before it goes bouncing off, kind of slicing it almost in half. There is quite a judder. I need Barden, as you're making these revelations that Bishop already has the sample. I need you to also make a mobility check along with Ace. Because this ship gets rocked. Okay, she succeeds, but has to roll a panic.
Barden is old.
Oh, Barden. Okay, she makes it. Just barely. It, wah, wah, warning, warning. Lights are like flashing. The screens begin like buzzing. And you can see that the download had just started. It's at like 5%.
Ugh.
And there's like a tug at the ship as if somebody just kind of, bumped into you in traffic. This like judder. It shakes everything. What do you do? Before I cut back outside to Rin, who is magnetically booted to this the ship.
Barden
Did you do anything?
Or Zach?
Barden, yeah. Does Barden do anything inside
no,
after
he's like
gets
that,
thrown to the floor?
No,
and,
he's like that one fish on SpongeBob. My leg. He's old. It's a space station. I'm sure he
tumble a little bit.
He tumbles out of his chair and whines about it.
Mm-hmm.
Ace kind of rushes over. You can tell she's like breathing heavy and her hands are shaking. She doesn't know what's going on, and she kind of checks on you and maybe helps.
I'm fine. I fell out of the chair. Don't worry about it. Fine. Go back to doing your nerd thing.
Rin, Ace, being the only person who clearly knows how to use the comms, uses it.
Hello? Are you okay? What happened? Hello?
A piece of debris just hit the wire.
And the comms kind of go silent as Barden, you see Ace get up and begin like typing away, trying to diagnose or do a diagnostic on what went down.
Is anyone dead?
What are you up to? This thing snaps. The cable is almost done for. You can see it pulled a little bit at where it attaches to the ship, and it's now kind of sparking as if it's not, there's like a short, it's like if you tug a cable too tight and things get bad. The cables are bad now.
Okay. Rin is noticing that her plan to get proof is now falling apart, literally. Pun intended, yes, chat. And she will do the only thing that she could possibly think of in the moment, which is to go over there via pushing off of the spacecraft towards the split in the wire to try to pull them together with her own strength. Yep. You like that?
Okay.
Like a relaxed Captain America.
Holy shit. Okay.
Hey.
Before
It's
we deal with Rin's
space.
fucking dope effort to save the day, what is Kitchen's up to? Because you also feel not as much of a judder. You don't even have to make the check, but you can hear the ship hull like creak and everything kind of juts a little bit. Liquids rattle and beakers and shit.
I mean, we're still on the Geppetto, right?
You're still on the Geppetto, but
Okay.
something's very clearly wrong.
I mean, it's also a trash liner in space. So
Yeah, your ship is not hurt barely at all. In fact, you were the solid tugging point, so y'all got the majority of the wishbone when it broke. You know what I mean? So
he waits 5 seconds to see if anybody has any kind of like herald, remark, call out, anything whatsoever, an SOS. If there's nothing that's said, he goes back to science.
you do hear over the comms Ace ask if everybody's okay, Barden ask if everybody's okay, and you hear that the line has been like severed or cut.
Ooh, okay. That he's gonna go to the most immediate vantage point where he can see what is going on.
You maybe have to go down a level or something, and we see you kind of rush down and you look through a porthole window and try to get the angle, and you can see Rin free space in it. Okay? Rin, I need you to make I'm just gonna have you make a mobility check.
Okay. Mobility it is, guys. Here we go.
We have established with Vince that all of our spacesuits have kind of like hand jets to help you stabilize. So we're gonna see how this goes.
Yeah, we're gonna see if this ever rolls. Hello, there goes 2.
Okay.
Hey.
Check 1. You nailed the timing, letting go of the magnets on the boots as you push off, and you're headed straight for it. Success number 1. Success number 2. You managed to grab hold of the cable, and you can see about 3/4 of it is severed. I need a stamina check to push it back together.
Okay.
This could all end really bad.
Yes, it could. It could definitely, because I have 0 points in stamina.
Oh my god.
It's great. She's old, okay? God. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
2.
Oh my god. Okay. I want to check the table and see what the extra stamina might possibly give you, because this is pretty dope. Let's go to the basics.
Rin's like,
here.
not today, Satan. Not this time. I've lived long enough.
Okay. Here are your choices. You can give a 6 to someone else in the same situation as you, which includes everybody. A +1 to a later roll, so you can bank it. You don't have to roll again for this situation, or you can impress someone.
I feel like I'm gonna bank it.
Okay, you want
I'm
to
gonna
bank the +1?
Yeah.
Okay, you bank the +1.
Okay.
It is in your hands, and you are able to get it together, and it kind of sparks and as you push it. Barden, on the vessel with Ace, you see the screen where the loading was happening. It kind of flicks back on and it ticks up again to 5% and then to 6%. It looks that it is back online. Okay, chat. I don't ever use all of my corruption bars, but I could do it right now. But then I'm without corruption bars, so it's all on you to make sure I have another one.
I thought that was the corruption bar.
No, that was not the corruption bar. Not even close.
Jesus Christ.
Not even close. The real question is, I've already used one poor corruption bar on Rin. Bless Rin's heart. Which is why I feel like I should use it on somebody else.
Handle it. It's fine. I'll take it for the team. It's cool. It's cool. Totally up to you.
Yeah, you and press the cable back together, says chat. All right. I will give it to. All right. We're going to give it to the Sulco because I already claimed that it was damaged near the, as it sparks and begins to light up and you get to like 10%. You see Ace go, you smell a fire?
Oh, jeez.
You having a stroke?
Pardon, you would know an electrical fire any day.
God damn it.
One of the walls begins to smoke, and it seems like on the interior of that wall, there is starting an electrical fire, which might be where the port actually was, right? Something has sparked with the like reprocessing of information.
While Rin and I were going through this ship, did we see a fire extinguisher?
I would say that that's pretty standard on any vessel, even an old Sulco. Michael Bishop's not an idiot, so sure. There's probably one here somewhere. You know what? You don't have to. You work in a fucking science lab. Of course, you know where the damn. Yeah, sure. You find a fire extinguisher.
Great. Old man shuffles. His feet don't leave the ground. Old man shuffles to a fire extinguisher, and I'm gonna spray down the panel. Is there
it's
visible
on the
fire?
other side right now? All you can see is like smoke coming from the wall panel, so you're gonna have to remove the wall panel.
Outstanding. Well, as luck would have it, Dot, I have a cutting torch. So
fire for fire, baby.
Yeah, so I rummage through my backpack of many things, and I pull out a cutting torch.
+2 to your heavy machinery
to heavy
check.
machinery, yeah. All right, let's see here. Boop boop. 1 success, baby.
Ace is like, "What are you doing?" As Barden, like,
Sometimes you're gonna fight fire with fire. Don't worry about it. Do your nerd shit.
She immediately covers her eyes, knowing it's a bad idea to look, but like she has to look because this old man just brought out a fucking blowtorch, and he's like,
yeah. Meanwhile, Barden doesn't have a help. He just closes his eyes.
Yeah,
fucking cut.
And he starts cutting through this wall. It's going to take a whole turn for you to like cut through it. It's a long action to get the hole.
Okay.
The wall begins smoking more as you cut through it. You don't know if it's your torch or the fire on the other side, but here we are. Here we are. And the camera cuts to Vince. Vince, you're on the outside. You see Rin make a daft dive out in the middle of fucking space, catches and is pushing, you can tell, holding the cables together. I would say, Kitchens, you also see this. Rin free flying through space, catches it and plunks it back together. The on your end, the screen of upload begins booping up again to like 10% or something.
Vince, have I made it to the connecting point with our ship?
Have made it to the connecting point.
Is it still
sure.
intact?
It is.
Okay.
It doesn't look like this side took any damage.
I turn and look at Rin, and I say through the comm, okay, that's real badass, but I don't think you can do that the whole time.
Does Rin hear this?
Yeah, you would hear
okay.
Vince in your ear through comms.
Oh, she just echoes back, "Watch me."
And Vince just starts, you see, he's just like tapping the dome on the outside of his helmet, like, because he's looking around for something. Even if Rin is able to do it the whole time, then making sure that she gets back safely. So do we have like cable or rope or something? I don't know.
I imagine there would be on the ship. Yeah, there would be something that that binds large cables like this, right? Like more than likely it's some kind of super futuristic like strip, right?
Mm-hmm.
That you like kind of band on and it airtight seals something or something like that, but it's going to be on the ship.
Okay.
You wouldn't have it like on you, if that makes sense. And you got to get it to her.
Before I leave to do that, I like look where the debris field came from. Like,
if you roll an observation.
Okay.
All right. Dose.
Okay. Yeah, nicely done. You kind of look around. You can see the big piece like floating off. And now that you're focusing on it, you realize that a lot of the small asteroids and things in the area actually are junk from what looks like maybe a space battle. And this happens oftentimes, like small things burn up in atmosphere. It usually goes away at some point or gets lost in space. Some of it has managed to kind of get trapped here as if the battle might have happened in orbit, or whatever broke down was here in orbit. But it doesn't look like these are pieces of the Sulcos. So another vessel was here and potentially did not make it at some point. And some of these pieces are really, really old. So they've been sitting here in space for a while, and it just so happened that one of them got off course, or your luck was bad today. But you can see a couple pieces around.
Okay.
But it does, I will say, because of your secondary success, it does seem to be in, near, and around the Sulco. Like, if you look far, far out, you may not see as much, because you're only talking 12, 13, 14 pieces of debris, right? Of various sizes. From the size of a VW bug down to like a basketball, kind of floating in and around the area, right?
Damn big.
And if it's running through space at a certain speed, and more than likely because it's been in orbit with the Sulco, it never touches the Sulco because it sits in orbit with itself, right? But you are all in its trajectory, which was like a new thing in the so more than likely it was just bad luck, or y'all didn't know it was going to be coming back around, or that it might be in your path. So it just seems like you missed the space debris when you started this.
So this isn't even space debris that's orbiting the moon, it's orbiting the ship itself?
They're orbiting together.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of all sitting in a gravitational pull force within spectrum of each other.
Right.
But I mean, even if you were to say orbit the rest of the moon, what you'd see is that debris would get less as you'd go around. And then as you came back around, as if when that ship exploded, it exploded out from this point and, you know, stopped at some point, and everything just kind of kept orbiting.
So this is the kind of thing that, well, I don't know how long the orbit would take, but once we round about again, might come back, but that would probably take a while.
Well, you've knocked it off course now, right? It would have come back around.
Right.
But you knocked it off course.
Okay. Vince says on comms for everyone, I think crisis averted, mostly thanks to Ren. You guys should look out here. It's pretty cool. But I'm gonna get a cable, Ren. You'll have your you know, we'll get a snapshot or something, but you're gonna get hurt.
But no, I'm fine. What are you talking about? I'm good. This is great.
Round 2, as you say, this is great. Roll another stamina check.
Cool.
You gotta hold it.
Vince is
cool.
Starting to head back
against gravity, nonetheless.
Okay.
So this is great. This is cool. This is I would like you.
Can I push?
Oh yes, you can.
I'm gonna push. Doing it, guys.
Take a stress. Roll again.
Fuck.
As you try to keep it together, you can feel the sweat like beating down your face. You can hear your hot breath in your helmet and spaces. Everything around you is dead fucking silent.
Yeah.
You don't manage to keep it together. And the computer inside both vessels, as it says download, stopped. And it stopped somewhere around 13%. Ren, I need you to make a mobility check. Just to see if you move fast enough.
Wow.
Okay, roll panic.
Cool. 6.
Okay, you keep it together. Because as your strength is not enough to hold it and it kind of parts, just like any short in any cable, electricity jumps across it. You are able to remove your hands, but panic sets in as now you realize you were floating through empty space.
It's cool. It's all part of the plan. Hey, Vince, could you perhaps tell somebody to bring the ship a little bit closer to the wire? I could get this. I still have some. I
think I'd like to try that if I can.
Yeah. Kitchens. I imagine we see your feet like running down towards the. Maybe not. Maybe you walk. I don't know. Do you run? Does Kitchens run?
This Kitchen speed walk?
I think he's got like Karen country walk. You know, it's the arms are moving, but the legs are still
fast-paced.
moving.
Okay, okay. You walk fast paced down to Rin's vessel, right? Which they would have had to have brought back, so it is here
the
because they
Bessie.
walked out the ship, right? And they did a spacewalk. So you take it out, roll a piloting check to get out to Rin. That will be a full turn. Barden, get through the door. On the other side is a fire, and as it lets go, the wall does oxygen. Because there's lots of oxygen now, it wails up. Can you roll a mobility check to avoid fire?
I can roll it, Dot. The avoidance of fire is a different.
Yes,
story.
you might all at home see something new for kitchens. Don't panic. It'll be a-okay.
I rolled a panic, so I'm gonna go ahead and give you that's a 5.
Hey, you keep it together. But Barden, you are going to take 2 health damage as you burn.
Does armor stop fire?
Are you? Yes, it will actually. How much
Does it
armor are you
really?
wearing?
6.
6 armor. Yeah, roll to see if you mitigate the 2 damage.
1 success, so I would mitigate 1 damage, I think.
Yeah, 1 damage. So you have some fire, like anything that's like bare skin, your hands maybe.
Yeah. It's probably my hands.
Kind of blares back as you go to hit the fire extinguisher, and it's not fast enough as it kind of comes off, and your old body can't move quite as fast.
Well, he doesn't have the goggles, right? So he's just blind cutting a random trapezoid, and it tinks out, and he doesn't realize the fire's like just fucking gets roasted on his no eyebrows. His bushy giant eyebrows.
What little hair was left is like gone.
Yeah.
I imagine there is burn. You are burned in certain like small places on your bald head, maybe around your neck, on your hands, as Ace runs over to help you because she can't let the old guy fight this fire by himself.
Why are you doing? Don't do it.
Stop fighting. It's okay. And she tries to wrangle the
I have an extinguisher right here.
Yeah, and she tries to wrangle the freaking thing from you. Roll a close combat check.
What is she trying to take? The
fire extinguisher.
The fire extinguisher? Okay, cool.
Yeah. What a human thing to do. Did it roll for her?
I did not succeed at that.
I don't know why her sheet's not rolling. There you go. Okay, she got 1. Yeah. It is not a pretty fight as it's like, and she's trying not to hurt you. She knows you're an old,
No, her first one was a 1. She succeeded with the 1.
You want to go with that one? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. She's like trying to get it free from you, and she's panicking because the fire is spreading, and she knows she can do something about it, and she knows you shouldn't be doing anything about it because your eyebrows are on fire. And she like wrangles it from you and turns and tries to put the fire out.
Okay.
I don't. There's no real role for fire extinguishing. It's just gonna take her turn, and she like.
Yeah. There's no mechanics for fire extinguisher.
Fire extinguishing, so she's gonna just try to put it out.
The only thing missing from this game.
Yeah, as Barden, you note that the download has stopped.
I also just imagine that there's no sensors on this ship other than the ones like getting data streams from down. So Barden has no idea what's actually happening outside the ship, how close the other ship is, that Rin is Supermaning it in the middle of space. Yeah. Like he can't see any of that, so he's only concerned with the fire and has no idea what's going on.
Yeah, no, you definitely wouldn't know anything else that's going on.
Great.
Next. Vince, do you just stand around and look at how pretty the starlight is, or are you like going in? What's your plan? You can hear. Well, I say that you can't hear. Unless Kitchens told you, I guess you wouldn't know that the vessel's coming around. But Rin did call for it, so you can imagine Kitchens is coming with the ship ASAP.
Yeah, no. Vince he was already going to go inside the ship to try to grab a cable or wire or something. Vince would stand right by the trap door that he was about to enter to go back inside the ship as he sees Rin doing this, and says, because we have these little, air control things. So Vince just kind of watches wordlessly to see if Rin gains control of herself before he heads inside.
Okay. You could roll. I would take an observation or a survival for this. This is like, I would take it. This could also take a survival. Plus, Vince, we all know, is the ace when it comes to, jetpacking around in space. Saved his girlfriend that way.
Right.
Not girlfriend.
Not girlfriend. Okay.
Roll the panic.
Okay. Here we go. Yeah.
Man, y'all keep
fine.
rolling so low. One
Yeah.
day, one of y'all are
Does
going
our-
to panic. and it's
Is
gonna
our
be great.
panic calculated by the number of panic dice that we have?
It
Does that
is.
change
It
it?
is. So you have 4. You
Yeah.
roll a d6 and add the 4.
Oh,
So you rolled a 2 plus a 4, which got you a 6.
wow.
So
okay.
the more panic you have, the more you add to that d6 each time. Y'all just keep rolling really low on that d6.
Got it,
So
got
it's
it.
not tipped any of you over yet.
Okay.
Yeah. So you really only rolled a 4 with your special ability or whatever. So
Yeah.
it looks like Ren is not panicking, and it doesn't look like Ren like pushed off, so they're not like free floating. It just looks like Ren let go of the cable, and you can see electricity sparking. So it seems to be like a live wire now.
Okay.
And Ren's kind of floating nearby, very slowly away from it, but Ren should be able to use jetpacks to maintain control on their turn.
It somehow seems worse.
Yeah, on his turn. I mean, you know.
Mm.
I did succeed on that roll for the record.
Yes, I saw that. Your piloting check, and you are fast and hot on the way. You pull it
Vince
out.
will-
It's pretty standard. You got a success. It'll take you the turn to kind of get around the ship to Ren.
Got it.
And as you come around, you will all see the light, right? As it pans to Ren. It is Ren's turn. Ren,
Mhm.
what do you do?
Yeah. Kitchens, could you just like get the nose right under me and I'll just magnet boot back on and figure out this whole ordeal. Hey, Ace, there's electricity out here. Can I fix this? Do I have?
I can't talk right now.
What the hell is going
There's
on?
a fire.
Oh, son of a bitch.
I can put the fire away.
Did
Holy
Barbara
Cape
start the fire?
No, it's not a fire. Listen,
Barney, just back up. You're not giving me enough room. Stop it. Just put your eyebrows out.
point the nozzle of the thing.
No, this is exactly how I was taught to do it in Space 101.
Space 101's not a real
Just
class. Give me
get
that.
away.
Give me. I taught
Have you ever
science.
heard this trust in the younger generation?
I should have made Vince help.
And there's like there's a tussle as the comm goes off. They seem to be fighting a fire between themselves and on the ship.
Okay. Well, Vince, are you there? Are you
I'm
there?
staring at you right now. I didn't know
okay.
that Kitchens was coming.
Yeah, we got it. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine.
So
I
just
don't know what the
floating
big
through
deal
space.
is. I mean, they're going crazy about some kind of a fire, but I need you to put your head together, and we got to fix this wire. Else we will have to do wireless transfer, and
Right. Okay.
and that would cause issues, I'm sure, because he's probably got some kind of
Right,
fail
right,
safe
right,
or
right.
nonsense, and I really don't want
Okay.
that.
Fix
So-
wire. Got it.
Fix
I-
wire to continue download. I will stay out here until you come up with a solution. So I hope that's motivation enough, because I will not go back inside until these wires reconnected.
I'm
Good
just
luck.
imagining Vince, like Rin's not even facing him anymore. Like she's just floating like diagonally upside down as she's slowly drifting. Vince is like, fix the wire. Got it. I immediately rush inside to try to find some sort of like electrical tape, I guess.
Yeah, you know exactly where it's at. You spin your turn, you like boot over, right? You don't even take the spacesuit off, I imagine, as you like
Mhm.
down metal hallways to find the like strip that you need of this thing. All the way back on your turn as you try to get out there.
Okay.
Kitchens, you are able to come around, no problem. And you see Ren. I'm gonna have you make another piloting check to pull it into the position Ren asked for her to like boot on. You gotta kind of get under.
You got this.
Oh, that's a
look
lot
at
of
that.
successes.
Yeah.
That is
So
a lot
perfect.
of successes.
It's like a ballet. Just
Pull
beautiful.
underneath it. No problems. Light, everything you need, Ren. You can see a lot better what's going on here. But Vince is the one who has what you need.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is good. Good job, Kitchens. Thank you for that. It's a unexpected joyride into space. I don't know why I did that.
Could have cost you your life.
Yeah, well, you only live once. Well, I do.
Sometimes you don't live at all.
Well, then are we having a philosophical discussion at this point? Because if you're talking about actually living life vicariously, then yes, I am definitely living. That is very true.
By the seat of your pants. I heard that in an anime once.
Seat of your pants.
Yes.
Well, what do you call it if you're wearing a whole spacesuit, not just pants?
By the seat of your spacesuit?
Doesn't have quite the ring to it.
It doesn't. It doesn't. We'll work on that. I think you're doing a great job. This is an interesting dance. It's like a space pirouette, a ballet of sorts.
Yeah, I feel like I can stay out here for a while, but honestly, I'm getting a little like, I just want to be done with this area because I feel like what goes around comes around, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I could illuminate you as to what's happening in my existence or space. Space seems after we're in space. Go ahead.
Oh, that's good.
As this is in space, and he's going to tell you all about it.
Yep.
You see the arm plate on your suit that tells you all about it.
Mm-hmm.
Beeps that there is about 20% oxygen left.
Cool.
In your suit, which means you have about 10 minutes left out here before you need to find oxygen. Yeah.
Is that your air?
Yeah, Kitchens, is there any potentially additional oxygen tanks in Bessie?
No, but we could just hot swap.
Hot swap.
I don't need to breathe.
Oh, that's true. You don't. Are you wearing a suit right now?
I don't have to have that either. I'm not sensitive to the cold of space.
Okay. Well, I mean, I feel like, I just need a tank. I just need some more air.
Well, I mean, I could leave. We could wait on Vince.
Tape almost out.
We need another
speaking
tank
of
of
ballet,
air.
the camera cuts to the door of this. Vince, the only way to get over there now is to space jump, suit jump.
Can I space jump, but like keep my hand around? Like, can I use the cable as a guide?
Yeah, you can like cable your belt off and take to the ship and then take a dive and just use like airline cable to cable
like
yourself.
A tether.
Yeah, a tether. You can tether yourself to the ship.
Can I cable myself to the Ethernet cable?
Then you risk pulling it apart. What's wrong with you? Don't do that.
Look at that.
If Brent sees you doing that, be like, no.
Yeah, I mean, either way, you got to basically you walk over to the cable and tether yourself to the cable if that's what you wanted. Yeah, I mean, you could do that and then basically walk it down, or you could tether yourself to the ship.
Yeah, it is pretty unstable. I'd look over and see it's unstable.
It's ripped apart.
Look over at Ren. Look, okay.
Oh, you can do this. You just gotta. It's a small jump. It's hardly anything at all. You saw what I did, and I'm like 30 times your age at this point.
Okay, and if there's a spot to loop myself, not to the cable, but like to just connect myself to the ship and give myself plenty of slack. With cable on my belt or something, I will.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you would just use like hundreds of feet of airline cable, basically. It's on like a giant spool on this freighter. Usually it's probably used to like link onto trash and pull it in, but you can link it to your belt.
Cool. All right, I do. And then I jump.
Mobility check.
Okie dokie.
Ren is going to attempt to try to like catch his arm or something.
1.
Take a +1, roll 1 more dice.
Okay. How do I just roll 1 die in this?
Just roll a d6. If you go over to the left on roll 20, there's like a little key bar and there's like a d20. Just hover and hit d6. There you go. Okay, so cool. 1 success.
Bless you.
Like a champ. You jump. Thank you. Tethered in, maybe you're feeling more, confident that you can't just float off into space. And you jettison over with this strip in your hand on your throat. The camera cuts inside the Sulco. Ace is hard at work putting out the fire, but unfortunately it is growing with the oxygen in this space, or in this area. Ace is struggling to get it out, and it is spreading to some of the server boxes. She turns to you and goes, we should just like turn all the oxygen off for just a second. It'll kill the fire. If we don't, it's going to ruin the servers and then we won't get any of the information.
Dot, that sounds to me like the ridiculous over sensationalistness of a youth in Barton's humble opinion. Bishop is a creator of synthetics and a space sociopath, and apparently a billionaire, judging by the amount of money he's put into the things that he's doing here. A man that smart would have some sort of, I don't know, fire suppression system on a server ship. I would imagine. Is that a thing that he has? Can I quickly find that?
Just
Like, I
sure.
assume a man like him would have backup power source, some sort of
Yeah, he
elemental
definitely
suppression
probably
system.
has a generator,
Yeah.
and those kinds of things. The real question is, I don't have any more corruption to use, so I can't make it this way.
Yeah.
The question is, what are you looking for? Are you trying to find like a big red button, or are you trying to go into like the computer and change the system in some way, or see what he's got? Like, I need to know what you're actually
I mean,
doing.
here's the thing. I'm going to apply a scotch of meta knowledge here. When you're making a suppression system for a giant server room, you want the biggest obvious thing. It's like if your boiler's on fire in your house, you have just that one switch to pull. I would assume there would be something like that, like a we're on fire button that says fire. It's what I would imagine would be there.
Yes. There is a big red button on the wall.
Great. He just hits that button. I'm gonna take a shot here in the dark of space. I'm gonna hit the fire suppression button.
Hey, she's like, and you hit the fire suppression button. From the ceiling does drop fire suppression. Problem is, it isn't really meant for people. This is just a server room. It's meant to put out the server, so it doesn't matter how cold it is or how deadly the may be to people. And as the room fills up with this gas that begins to suppress the fire, much like dry ice, it begins to burn the skin.
Love it.
Ace is not wearing armor.
What a nerd.
Hold tight, everybody. Y'all, if it had been a corruption bar, it would have been a vent system. I just want you to know that. I did not have any more corruption bars, and the plan was for it to vent into space. I can't be that evil if you don't help me out. I want to look at something because
Thanks, chat.
I need to see how much damage you're actually going to have to take. Because it could put us in some serious, it could put Ace at least in some serious danger. Because she is not wearing 6 armor. Where is it? It's funny, I was looking at this earlier today.
Did some nice radiation damage.
Yeah, it's gonna be not great.
Death by extinguisher.
Here we go. Okay. I need you to make a stamina check, Arden.
Woof. Okay.
God, she
one
succeeded.
success, one
Okay.
one panic.
Roll a
that's
panic,
three.
okay.
3.
You realize after you hit the big red button, oh yeah, it's put the fire. Oh fuck, it's not meant to have people on board. As it starts hitting bare pieces of skin, and you hear a scream as like it's almost like dry ice. It's a gas form, kills most of the oxygen in the space, and it begins to freeze. It's like antifreeze. It's like the stuff you blow out your computer with if you put it on your skin.
Mm-hmm.
Begins to kind of eat away at you. Roll your armor. She doesn't have any.
One
Okay.
success.
Right. Okay. It is going to take this round and next round to put it out. You'll have to make stamina checks both round for both of you not to take damage.
Cool. Is there anywhere for either of us to go?
I mean, it's just it's an empty hull of a ship full of servers and computers. There's a table. She dives for the table with a success. She bumps into a chair along the way and is kind of like crawling under right now.
Okay.
There's like cabinets if you wanted to try to squeeze your yoga ass into a cabinet.
true. I do canonically do a lot of yoga. Yeah, he tries to like put as much things between him and
the suppression system as possible.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll a mobility check.
Great.
Another
One success.
Okay. Yeah, you two dive and you kind of start putting pieces in a cabinet. Your armor is protecting most of your lower body, but it's and you're already burned, so it stings quite a lot.
Great. I love that for me.
Camera cuts outside. Who is attaching this? Because I need a heavy machinery check.
Attaching what?
The strip to put the cable back. I need somebody to hold it, to stamina it together, and I need somebody to heavy machinery the piece on. And there's only 2 of you out there.
Yeah. Okay, but Vince, which one do you want me to pull it together, hold it there, you tape it?
I mean, you yeah, I'll
Hey, look at me.
sorry, yeah.
We're gonna get off the ship and get back inside. So I need you to focus, okay? Because there's some shit going on
Okay.
with Barden and Ace inside there.
Right.
They were screaming at each other.
Right.
Right? So head in the game.
I'll hold it together. I'll hold it
Okay.
together.
Okay.
Literally.
I got you.
All right.
Fine.
I hand
I need
the-
a stamina
tape.
check from Vince.
Okay.
Oh, you're gonna put the tape on.
No, I hold
Oh,
the
okay.
tape to, or I give it to Ren.
To Ren.
and I'm
All
going to
right,
hold
Ren,
it.
you
You're
make
gonna
the
hold
heavy
it together.
machinery check.
Okay.
Vince, you are gonna make the stamina check.
Guys, I have nothing in heavy machinery.
Oh, a
One
success.
success.
It comes together. The sparking
Oh,
stops.
thank God, I'm good with that.
a success, but I need that
I got a
panic roll.
panic.
Oh,
You got your panic.
okay. Finally.
Mm-hmm.
Do I
So
still
worth it.
succeed though?
You do still
Okay,
succeed,
good.
but you are going to panic.
That's okay.
And I will tell you, I believe an 8 is a tremble in your hands. You'll take a -2 to all your dex checks moving forward.
Yeah, the tape does not look pretty.
Yeah, tremble. You start to tremble uncontrollably. All skill rolls using agility suffer a -2 modification until this panic stops.
Okay.
He pushes it together. The sparking stops. You stretch this stuff, right? And as you do, it kind of almost vacuum seals, like the way a trash bag does to the edge of a trash can sometimes, or a balloon, with basically, that concept of, yeah. Anyways, it sticks on. Success. As it does, and it latches on, there's a spark that comes out and it hits your finger. You're going to take a single jolt of electricity and 1 point of health damage, as this electricity causes your hands to continually tremble for a period of time. But it does seem like it is fixed. Kitchens, you can't see from here, but you get the thumbs up from the 2 of them. It looks like it's patched, at least to this degree.
Shaking hand.
Ace and Barden, if you weren't hiding in the furniture, you would see that the download thing begins to beep up again to 15%, 16%. But I need both of you once again to roll a stamina against the cold. Oh, she fucking made it. Oh, she made it.
Oh,
She made it. Barden, did you make it too?
I made it. 2 successes.
God. Hang on. I wanted to roll. She is gonna. She's fine at a 7, right?
No, 7 is something.
A nervous twitch. Her stress level and the stress level of all friendly PDs starts in the range of you increases by 1. You have known Ace for a little while. You haven't spent quite as much time around her, but she has never lost her cool. And as you squeeze your little yoga body, elderly yoga body, into this cabinet, you can see across the space, and she is hiding under this table, and under the table is beginning to fill with this gas. And you can see she's screaming, trying to hide her face and all of her body parts underneath it. She at this time will take some damage to her health track, as it freezer burns, right, is what it is basically, frostbite parts of her body, and she begins to panic, and she starts to kind of tremble uncontrollably. You will take a stress, and she will take a stress.
Cool, got it.
As the system finally shuts down, and as it does, the rest of the gas in this room kind of simmers to the floor. The fire is out, and you can see the scorch marks up the wall and on a single one of the servers where it started to catch fire. The fire is out, and as you crawl out of your cabinet, you can see that the download is now at 20%, 21%, 52%.
Hey, I don't know what's going on out there, guys, but we had a fire over here, and I'm a little burnt.
You guys okay?
Yeah, I'm missing my eyebrows. Ace, Ace is
Ace okay? Ace Ace, are you there?
She's like a medical kid, I think. Could you come take a look at the
Oh, are we
medical-
done yet? Can I come back?
Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem. I
Just stay under the table.
well, are we fine here? Do I still need to hover in the space?
Oh, well, no, we just need to. You want to like kind of just rotate us back towards the hatch there.
Oh, sure, certainly, not a problem. I'll do just that.
Yeah, you kind of rotate them back around, and because Vince is tied off, y'all can actually string all the way back, and Ren and the two of you kind of link arms. Ren, your oxygen levels begin to get low, below 10%, 8%. It is red on the screen, but the data is transferring.
Okay.
And Kitchens, you're able to pilot over, especially with that last piloting check, which was like redonkulous, over to the other ship dock and pick up Barden and
Ace,
if you would like.
yeah, I will.
You haven't actually been on the server yet. Do you step off to take a peek?
Sure. I will. I'll step on mostly to see how Ace is doing. Barden seemed a little shaky, but mostly concerned. So I imagine if his concern is for another person right here, then it might be better to peer over Ace.
You come in and you see Ace hover, like, first off, there's a layer of like light white gray dust all over everything.
Okay.
Hey there, big guy. We have a bit of a fire.
I see that. Were there's some systems engaged, or
I have no idea. One of the panels started like sparking fire,
there
so
was a fire.
Yeah, I got it. You just focus on the table. So I cut a hole in it, and the fire erupted, and then I hit the suppression system. And kids these days, you're not even wearing a jacket in space. It's cold out here. Put a
You
jacket
can
on.
see that like her face and her hands and her arms. Now she was wearing like multiple layers, but like of just regular space jumpsuits and shit, Now a kid plays too long in the snow and their face gets like red burnt from being out in the sun. It looks kind of like that. It's like ice burned all over her kind of face and body. And she's like trembling to the touch. She seems rather shaken.
okay. I'm gonna use nap relief, lower her stress level, and try to bring her to a state of rest if I can.
How much does it relieve of the stress?
Nap relief, I'm pretty sure it brings you like to 0.
Is it a full reset? Damn.
Nap relief's intense. That's why they give
Okay.
it to you right after you come out of the
I
rest.
imagine you kind of stab her and it takes only a couple seconds before she's a little like woozy and passes out. And you're all able to load her back on. And the three of you are able to head over if you would like. But the data is downloading at this point. It's at 46, 47, 48.
Okay.
You're about 50% there.
All right. I will maintain as such and pilot them back. Take her to medical bay and put her place of rest. It looks like her skin is seeing the most damage here, and that's easily treatable. We should have ointment enough to cause.
If she had not jumped under that table, it could have ended really badly for her. She could have had like some permanent skin damage. But she's not the only one injured. Barden seems a little less hairy.
Okay, your situation doesn't seem as bad, Barden. I feel like
his eyebrows seem tamed.
His eyebrows are kind of crispy burned, and you can see some burn marks on his scalp. The thin hair that he had is mostly gone now. And you can see that he very clearly like it looks like something blew up in his face, right? Like there's like black soot that kind of goes back from his face. He looks like there was an explosion in his face.
Overall, it was just a glow up for him.
Yeah,
yeah. Turns into handsome Squidward all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think with enough rest and potential washing, you should be in perfect testing state. Now you don't have to worry about that hair.
I'll be fine. Kids these days, she wasn't properly, she didn't have enough covering, and then she panicked a little bit and hid under a table for some reason. I don't know why. There's plenty of closets and lockers.
There's a man who hid the cabinet.
The cabinet protects you in full, all sides of you. The table just has a top, no sides. And listen, ominous.
You can
What's in
roll
your
2
hands?
Medicaid checks, or
Well,
we'll
see,
just take one Medicaid check to heal him up.
I had a blowtorch and I was cutting a hole in the panel that was on fire, and I didn't have the proper headgear because ship doesn't have it, and so I had to just close my eyes. And when the panel popped off, fire erupted all over my hands and face. But it's fine. I'm fine. I was quick enough to hit the suppression button. The gas came down. We choked a little bit. She panicked a little bit. kids.
So you carry a blowtorch with you,
That is correct.
but you don't carry a visor or gloves.
Well, you see, I would, Kitch. You know me, I would. Safety first. However, the Monstro does not have one.
Does not have gloves or a visor.
That is correct. I don't know why. I only found the blowtorch.
So you just decided to start carrying a blowtorch.
Well, the aliens, as we have figured out here, are, they don't like fire.
No, that's a much more compelling argument. We should get you some gloves and a visor.
I agree. Well, we haven't landed planet side except for that hellscape for quite some time, so I haven't really had an opportunity to buy things. You know what? I'm going to get into MedLab and lube up. I'm a little itchy.
Since that planet, I feel like you have been acting a bit bolder than almost necessary. Is everything okay, Barton?
It might have been a side effect of the drugs I injected directly into my eyeball.
Yeah.
Maybe. Could be. So I could maybe write that down in your medical journal.
Is your prostate okay? Is that fine? It's still swelling?
I haven't fished around in there lately, so I could check. I'll check. I'm going to lube up. I'm going to check. I'll get back to you.
Okay.
About the
Good. I mean, as long as I'm there to take notes, I'm just checking on your general health.
Yeah. It's not, you're like you're a friend. It's not weird. You can come take a look.
Sure. Of course. I have vast study of the human anatomical system.
Great.
Right.
Why? Because of that, Kitchens, why don't you roll a medical aid to lube Barden up and
You got it.
help Ace?
2 successes.
Perfect. 1 success for each of them.
Dear God.
Consider yourself lubed.
She's gonna have to take.
This is really why people come to this show, not the lore, not the info.
Her single health will go away in about 24 or so hours. She's gonna need some rest. Barden, how much damage did you take?
1.
Just the one. Okay. You two needed a different kind of ointment. I refuse to call it lube. What you choose to do in your personal time is up to Barden. But that is not where this story is going today. Because as you finish treating them, and I'm interested to know what like Vince and Ren are up to. Well, let's see. What do you do when you get back on board? Are y'all just waiting for the rest of the data to complete transfer?
No, Ren has now checked her entire suit, make sure there's no oxygen leaks, and replenish her oxygen tank so she can go back out there in case
do the thing all over again.
Yeah.
Yep. Really, all you would need to do is somebody's going to have to detach the cable. You only have to detach it from one end, technically.
Yeah.
And it could just be your ship and you leave it dangling. That's up to y'all. Okay, but yeah, you check everything, or you may just grab a new tank.
Yep.
It seems that the odds were against you.
Such is the way.
Such is the way. It'll take another 5 or 6 minutes for the rest of the data to download at this rate. So you can come in, change your stuff, re-gear up. Vince, do you join Ren?
Vince goes to check on Ace.
Yeah. You probably watched as she sleeps soundly and Kitchen's very professionally tends her kind of burns while she sleeps.
She'll be fine.
Yeah, thanks. That was you came in and did all this before I could even do anything.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that it is a common issue, but it is something that is easily tended to.
Did I hear something about you lubing up Barden? What's going on?
I've got to admit, Vince, I am a little worried about Barden. Barden's not young, right? You can see that he's not young.
No.
Since we had arrived on that planet where the organisms had developed their ecosystem and we were attacked, Barden has had a series of armaments available to him. He has a pistol, he has a blowtorch, and he has very little training. I would go as far as saying he has no training. I am quite impressed that he didn't shoot himself, because he did burn himself.
What I would say is him handling things that are beyond his ilk is nothing new, but maybe the getting older part, maybe that's
I think it's
the
making him braver.
Yeah, something is.
As you have this really delightful conversation, she kind of turns a little bit on the table, and her eyes kind of weakly open for a second, and she sees you first, Vince, and her hand kind of reaches out to grab yours.
I grab her hand.
As you do, you realize there is something in her hand, and she smiles as she sees you, and she kind of weakly goes back to sleep as she releases whatever is jumbled up in her hand into yours.
I look at it.
Openly.
Yeah.
Okay. It looks to be a crumpled up picture, like an actual picture, printed picture. Of a very young Michael Bishop and a David you. Which one you do not? They stand side by side, arms around each other. It seems that maybe she acquired this from the other ship.
Ooh.
It looks like it had like holes in it, like it might have been pinned up on a board, or like maybe even a paper clip at one point had like jutted through an end. Maybe it was clamped to a file. You're not entirely sure, but there was like, it very clearly was, it was used before it was put into her hands. And then she grabbed it. Even the corners maybe like a little burned, and you can see some like color damage from the freezing in the space. It was like in her hand to bring back.
I bring it over and show it to Kitchens.
Kitchens, you see this strange image.
And as I show it to you, I say, Barden, you still alive?
Yeah, buddy, I'm fine. Just
Was
saved the
there
ship
a-
from a fire and everything. Don't mind me.
Good job.
Thanks.
Was there I thought you guys said that it was just servers on that ship.
Yeah. It's like servers, all the seats were replaced, and all of the like locker rooms, and basically everything that would make it a ship was replaced with wall cabinets and servers and that kind of thing. Why do you ask?
Looks like Ace found some sort of old picture with Bishop and a David unit.
He did have like a workstation or a desk in there, so it could have been a personal workspace. Who knows? You didn't really search that.
She was rolling around on the floor for a little bit there, so maybe it could have knocked down on the floor and she found it under a crack or something like that.
I look at Kitchens and say, I guess I guess what we should do is when the download finishes in a minute or two, I'll head over there because I think we should take the cable with us. I don't think we should just disconnect on our side. So while I'm over there anyway, I'll just sweep through one more time and see if he left any other cute pictures. I don't know. I'll get ready to head back out.
I'm not going to make y'all roll. The difficult part of this is all done. Detaching the cables will be a smidge difficult on the other side because it was damaged, but not too difficult for you to detach, basically, because the fire's already been put out. So when you get over there, just roll a observation check to see what you find, if you find anything.
Oakley dokley.
You don't find anything new.
You can push.
Okay. Yeah.
You could push. That'll be number 5 for that stress.
Real stressed. What does that mean for him?
And the episode's not even.
Yeah. I mean, why not? Let's do it. I'll push.
Do it.
Okay, here we go. It's not going to do anything. Oh no, it will.
Damn.
1, you see where this photo was. There's kind of like almost like a cork board. It's probably actually magnets or something like that, like on a wall that was the back of his very minimal workstation, which you can see some files and handwriting stuff, and like very clearly this was his spot. It has the only chair in the place, which was dumped over except for the one that was at the table where Ace was hiding. And you can see where it was on the wall. And it was clearly taken from there. The second thing that you find I can't decide which one I want to give to you because you're only going to get one of them. For Michael Bishop. You find a key card. He's much younger. This is just an old ID key card to every major Wayland-Yutani station across everything. And he is Michael Bishop. You don't know if it's
Okay.
deactivated, but it is in your possession. Chip is still intact. It's just a little dusty.
I blow it off. Wow. Does it have his picture? Was he?
Yeah,
was
he's
he
much younger than the last time you saw him. This is probably,
he-
this ID is probably 10, 15, 20 years old.
Was he a handsome guy, or was he kind of an ugly little?
Yeah, he's handsome by most standard. I mean, he's no GQ model. He's not a David unit, for Pete's sake. He's not Michael Fassbender, right? But he's not necessarily bad looking. He actually is rather understated in terms of like a lot of things that the synth units tend to be based off of, right? Like, so like your nurse units or like the synth units that usually get put into medical are good bedside manner, soft spoken, right? There's the Ava unit, for example, that you met, right? There's the model that Kitchens is, the David model, which is scientific and analytical and meant to, and is probably fashioned so that when science is spoken to you and things you don't understand, you feel more comforted. So they're kind of designed. His is like the dad next door, kind of.
Yeah, almost. In some cases, you don't even realize
you
it's
wouldn't
there.
know, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't even realize it's there, or you wouldn't think anything about it. His face seems trustworthy. This kind of smirk of a smile, blue eyes. You know, he seems like your average everyday dude. Now, this is the real Michael Bishop, not a Bishop unit model, which he becomes based off of. But this, I would say that this ID is probably right around the time no, actually, that would be too far. So he is a little bit older. He's older than the average David model, but he's not as old as he is now. So 20 years or so, give or take.
All right, I scoop that up.
Yep.
I grab. I mean, I grab as many of the papers as I can take, I guess, with me.
So you probably take he has like a leather portfolio that was out. You just gotta scoop the whole thing and take it with you.
Yep.
All right.
And then once the download's finished, I unplug the cord, head back to the ship.
Come back. And the process kind of goes backwards. And as you arrive with this ID card, whether you tell everybody or not, and his files, those of you in the med science bay see that the facial recognition is done running. It pings a sound of completion. Facial recognition to find the woman who left with Shakespeare.
Right.
A commercial, by the way, starts to play. Like a advertisement, if you would. Something that would definitely play on a corporate Wayland-Yutani screen.
Like before your results kind of thing?
Yeah. A very friendly female, very attractive.
Oh, I see.
Kind of a beehive style mod hairdo, to make her bigger and larger than life. She sits in this beautiful dress at a table with tea in front of her. And she says, "It's Gravi-Tea time, everybody. It's Gravi-Tea time. Come on by to Gravi-Tea." And you can see like a bar like pans across the bottom, giving you a location where it's located. It is located on a station. That station is, I will tell you which station it is. Here it is. Mendel Station. The Mendel Station is here, roughly about 2 weeks from where you are. Back that other direction. It seems that this woman's face has registered on whoever did this commercial for this tea shop. and it kind of plays over and over. It's Gravi-Tea time. Come on by and fill your cup.
You said it was 2. Did you say 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks
Oh,
ago?
I'm so sorry. It's 1 week. It's 1 week back. So it's just about a week travel back in if you wanted to hit the Mendel station.
The station name is Mendel?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
The Mendel Mendel station. Falls right along the Taurus sector, but it's no, that's not true. Yeah, it does fall along the Taurus sector, and it is not part of the core system. It is actually part of the America corridor.
Got it. All right. I will, after we see this, I will inform everyone and present. Look at my fancy new key card. I'm Michael Bishop, and I have access to everything. And I'd say that and then start just like sliding it into things that don't exist.
That was very convincing, Vince.
Thanks. Give me a disguise and no difference. Like,
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a hell of an actor, kid.
Thanks. I learned it from you.
Thanks. It's all the yoga. Keeps you fit in your mind and your body. Anyway. So about blowing that up.
Right.
Yeah, that's I mean, I know I'm always the first one to suggest blowing shit up, but I feel like that's a pretty good plan, right?
Yeah. I mean, didn't you said something about no, Rin, didn't you want to send it down to the planet, use it as a, alien nuke?
Yes. But however, there is one thing that we must do before this, and it is a proper send-off. So grab anything that you can swing, get back on the ship. We're gonna do one last thing on the research station that shall not exist after we're done with it.
Right.
I will warn you ahead of time that the entirety of the interior of the ship is covered in a fine powder from the suppression system in there. So if you stir it up too much, don't be surprised if your skin starts to itch and your lungs start to hurt.
We could just wear the suits, the spacesuits.
Yeah, you could just wear the spacesuits. That makes a lot more sense than what I said.
So was this vessel supposed to be a viewing center for what is below then?
Yeah, it looks like that. But you're also coming too.
Oh,
because I
like
believe
that.
it was pulling data from down
Right.
there.
Which
I think
means something is sending
now,
data.
Well, I don't think
from
it's
down there.
actively. Well, data is being sent. I think the cameras and they built a facility. Okay, listen. Here's what I think. Right, we found one of those precursor ships. Right, Kitch, we found another one here. So my guess here is that from the planet, for the moon or whatever that we were on, the hellscape, somebody stole one because we saw that 2 left and crashed it here, and then a bunch of bad shit happened. A bunch of aliens got loose. Also, this is where Hadley's Hope was. That's why Hadley's Hope isn't there anymore. Bunch of aliens is the point of this story. A shitload, whole fucking colony of aliens down there. And I think they originally tried to trap them like a I don't know, demonic zoo or some shit, and see what they would do. And what they did was they fucking killed everybody, hollowed out their insides, and made them aliens. As you would expect massive hunter-predator killer machines to do. And there's a queen, there's a bunch of eggs, there's a bunch of hollowed out human corpses attached to walls, and just a whole slew of aliens down there. And so now
it's not pretty.
Yeah, it's real bad. It's a real bad time. And so now all the cameras are still on. So they're just sending data up here. And every so many years, Bishop or somebody he represents or something shows up and goes, "Yikes, still fucking aliens down there," and then leaves. I'm assuming that's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
So I lied to all of you. It is not the Mendel station. I greatly apologize.
Worst.
It is because the Mendel station is actually long gone now. It's actually on your list of disappeared places. It is this station here, the Arceon station.
We can't Are you pointing at
Oh,
stuff?
I'm so sorry. You're not on the map, are you?
Yeah.
Just
No.
kidding. Just kidding. Let me bring you back over to Star Map. Okay, so this is actually the Mendel Station, which is near Fiornio 161. Right? All of these yellow places are locations of disappeared or suspected disappearances or alien activity. This is over here to the far west side of the map, southwest side of the map is the Arceon Station.
Okay.
This is actually where you're headed. You currently are here in the Zeta Reculi. It still will take you the same amount of time, about a week, to get there with space travel. But that is actually where you're headed. It is considered part of the core systems, but is isolated in certain ways. I would say Kitchens might be the only person that knows this, just from like general knowledge or having served as a synth at one point. It is there is a monastic order actually that maintains this station, and it is said to those who have seen it that it is covered entirely in woods, that it is kind of like a repurposed sphere. The station is that houses like mass greenery life, the wooded or the wooden planet as it is known, even though it's not really a planet, it's actually yeah.
And you said I would know that.
I would say you might know that, just
Okay.
because it's like the only person here that would have any religious knowledge or any knowledge of like cultural order.
Do I know
outside of
whom the monastic order follows?
Oh, they're a group of monks that have rejected technology. So they repurposed an old station.
Okay.
They took it and turned it into a piece of metal into a greenhouse, basically. Let's see. I can't tell you all of that. Let me see if you know anything about the order. I don't think there's a whole lot known about them.
Oh, it's a greenhouse though.
Yeah, it is. It's basically they took a metal space station, restructured the entire surface of it in like wood and like dirt and ways to grow, and they've repurposed the whole thing into a like living station.
That's perfect. Well, I need to go
That's
there.
why I was like, I gave you the wrong one. You need this one instead. Yep.
Yes.
So I will give you that much. Yes, they were a technophobic order of monks, as it is said. They have been around roughly 100 years, give or take.
Space hippies.
They're space hippies. Yeah, and they recluded from the core systems and pulled out to their own little place. They found a station that was empty, and we're like, we could do better.
Know exactly where I'm going to find my cordyceps. With space hippies. I bet they have all kinds of shrooms there.
Space hippies. And you see it like flash across the screen. She seems a little out of place in an order of monks, but it is a tea shop for Pete's sake. And technically, the space station falls within a hyperdyne system, core system. It's in the green area, and that is a hyperdyne sector. Technically.
What are the odds that Shakespeare survived and he's just down here on Space Hippie Space Station and he's running a tea shop with his wifey and having like orgies on Tuesdays
and Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Every day that they can.
Every day that ends in Y.
Watching anime.
Yep. We're definitely not gonna know till next week because it's time.
But the thing.
Oh yes, your thing. We can't leave without that thing.
Not that thing.
What thing are you wanting to do?
Okay, so out of character speaking here. Basically, Rin is convincing everybody to go back onto this godforsaken research station to physically take out all of their stress, panic, and anger on the server boxes. Rin will begin whilst drinking whiskey, thus reducing, hopefully, my stress to some degree.
Okay.
But while everybody was doing like their, all that stuff, Rin was looking through to see which course to put like to help make it crash into where the queen is on the planet.
Interesting.
She might even ask Geppetto's help to help with like plotting the right course for it to fall out of orbit into that area and hopefully destroy the queen.
Okay. I will, everybody that partakes in the smashing of the server room can get rid of 2 stress.
Does Vince think this is something that Ace would like?
Ace is going to be all out of stress because she was pumped full of drugs.
Right. But I just
She's
mean for himself, if this is something that she'll wake up and be like, oh, I don't care because we transferred the data. Or if me knowing her, if she'd be like, oh no, you destroyed computers.
I mean, you got the data. And I think her bigger concern is going to be Michael Bishop's. But if it looks like you're covering tracks, then
okay.
You could do worse for a plan, because I'll be honest, I had plans if y'all didn't do anything to cover up your tracks. So
Vince partakes.
yeah.
Just
I mean, we're also sending the ship to crash into the, the
That's
planet.
right.
So ultimately, all these things will be destroyed.
I need a piloting check for you to know, can you pilot this ship? What is the best way? And to work with the Monstro to get it into orbit. And then I will tell you what you have to do.
Okay. Cool. 2 successes.
Okay. First off, they have gutted the Sulco. It is not a ship anymore. It's a shell.
Yeah.
That they have put in orbit. It cannot itself fly.
Yep.
Which means the only way to get it off course is to knock it off course.
Sounds about right.
Which the Monstro, is a much larger ship, could, with the right piloting check, potentially be done.
Without damaging the Monstro?
Well, we could
that
push it.
I can't promise.
Could push it off course. We could just like gently bump up to it at the right trajectory and then just push down on the gas and then just literally
jam it into the earth. But the Monstro is so big coming into atmosphere like that, you won't be able to get it back out before the explosion takes place. You basically have to baseball bat that fucker out of orbit. You're gonna have to bump it. Correct. Yeah, so you can bump it hard enough. You could try to like an explosion far enough out that would throw it, right?
We have the ordinance for that? I don't know if we do.
You do not. This whole, y'all ain't even supposed to be here. This whole sector is off limits. I told you that before you came.
Okay. What if we use the momentum? Is that even possible in space? I don't know. But the Shakespeare's ship, like, to help with the push in. So if something gets damaged, at least it's not our main mode of transportation.
There are lots of options.
Yep.
You could sacrifice a ship. You have a smaller one that could
Bessie.
drag it down.
Drag it.
Not Bessie.
Big Bessie could potentially be connected to it and literally drag it into the Earth's surface, which means that you could set Bessie on a trajectory to exactly where you want, which could be the Queen's Hive. That's the only way you can assure that it's gonna like hit exactly where you want. If you basically shot put it or baseball bat it into orbit or out of orbit and into atmosphere, it could burn up, it could catch fire, and it might land close, but it might not hit exactly. It's not as accurate.
Mm-hmm. Would it be possible to try to pilot the dang thing down, but detach Big Bessie before impact and go back up?
Yes, Big Bessie, possibly with the right rolls, could make the run because it's a more dexterous ship than the Monstro is, right? Like it's not asking like a massive submarine to drag in and drag out. It's small, that's what it's meant for. With all the right rolls, yes. Somebody could pilot it down and pilot it back up.
Yep. Okay, I'm doing this.
Yes, correct. The Sulco has no thrusters. It's empty. They hollowed it out. It's just a shell.
Okay. After they destroy a bunch of the stuff on the Sulco, Rin gets, her pilot jumpsuit on. Okay, boys. Wish me luck. Y'all are staying here. This one's mine.
Yeah, good luck. Don't die. You're the best shot we have.
Vince shoots a look at Kitchens and then looks from kitchens to Barden, then back from Barden to kitchens, then kitchens to Rin.
Is there anything that I could do to give her to enhance, like maybe like a reaction time, or like something that I may have like given to Barden, right? That I've tested.
Oh, but
Want an
you know
eyeball
what?
shot?
I was about to say your hand's still trembling. No, it's not. You guys beat the shit out of the ship you're about to drop on this planet. There are drugs that can make her more hyper focused.
That'll just give her stress.
It will give her stress.
That's fine.
Then
I mean, you could pump her full of drugs.
I will let her know that it functionally works quite well with Barden's makeup. I can't see it being too different than yours. I will note that he was quite addled afterwards, but one positive, it will not enhance your prostate. You seem to lack that.
Okay. Are you saying this is going to help me do and achieve?
I think it will make you hyper alert and aware, just in case something were to happen. It will assist you in your reactionary.
Great. Let's go. Let's do that. That's great.
Okay. The caveat was that it will give you 2 stress when the scene is over.
Okay. It is a ocular drug.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Cool.
Content warning, everybody at home. You provide the dosage to Rin before getting on. Rin, it's kind of like a shot of adrenaline mixed with like 50 milligrams of Adderall. Everything just like right.
Adderall.
Like, you know what I mean? Like a lot of Adderall. And you're just like, everything's like, you're hyper aware of everything. You can feel everything a little bit more. Your reflexes are a bit more on point because you're just on edge. Your stress increases by 2.
Okay.
So your stress increases when it wears off.
Yeah, when the scene is over.
Oh, when it's all done. Okay,
Yeah.
so it won't wear off. Okay, you don't have it yet. That's good. So
Okay,
we'll
okay.
put your rolls right now. Great. I need some piloting checks.
Yes.
Y'all get
Do-
it rigged up, ready to go. Piloting check.
What's
grants
the
you-
benefits?
It's a 2. You get a 2
It's a
modifier
2.
off of it.
2 modifier to the roll.
Okay. Okay. Great.
As long as it's a
Fantastic.
dexterity roll.
Well, agility, right?
Anything that's anything that's
Agility.
granted off of agility. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Fantastic. This is gonna be so much fun, guys.
You
I
can
can't
literally
wait.
hear your heart in your ears.
Yeah.
Like it's you're so hyper aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, boys, let's go. And she's just going. 3 successes.
We like to see it.
Thanks with the help of the computer on Monstro, you're able to set that perfect trajectory. Down, straight to the planet. You
Mhm.
break atmosphere. You're used to this by now. Fire. You're lugging this thing
Yeah.
behind you.
Yeah.
Now, there's going to be a point where gravity sets in.
Yep.
And it is going to gain momentum and speed. And you not only have to outrun it, you have to detach the cable and get out of its way because it is heavier than your ship.
Yeah.
That's science, everybody.
I
That's
love
how
this.
science works.
Yay.
I
The
need
more
a
you know.
second piloting check
Okay.
to get out of the way.
Okay. Come on. Don't be a bitch. Roll 20. 3 successes.
more, yes.
Wow.
Boy.
Like a charm. It releases, you kind of scoop up and go back out like you're headed towards space. And behind you, because you're still in atmosphere, you can hear the sound of the ship crashing.
Beautiful sound.
The side of Hadley's Hope was not much to begin with. It was kind of left over and run down. Now it is burning. Another second ship in its history that has crashed into it as it begins to burn. Did it kill the queen? You don't know, but it was a really big explosion because all of you can see it from space. It's like a little blip, but you see it. And Rin is able to fly back up.
I
Enjoying
think for the tension, because they're all probably waiting to hear back from Rin before they see the explosion. She waits a bit, and then she cues up. Get my whiskey out, motherfuckers! I'm coming home.
And maybe an actual success for the day as you all regather. Now, my question to you is, are you making the 2-week journey to the Arxion station?
Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah.
Okay.
Think that'd
That
be a
is
good plan.
your trajectory. And
Shred
you all
rector.
go into cryo? You all go into sleep, or are you all going to wait the week out?
I'm not going to. I'm going to continue
Okay.
reading up so I can develop the PowerPoint of which I'm going to set them all down
Present
and show
to
them
these
exactly how
monks.
this is going to work.
These anti-tech monks are going to sit through a PowerPoint.
Oh, no,
Look.
no, the squad, because I'm going to have to dumb it down for the monks.
I see. You got to pitch it to the crew.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who is going into cryo and who's not?
Ren will only go for the first half, and then she'll come out a little bit early.
Vince won't go in immediately because he wants to check in with Ace one more time before going under.
Okay. I mean, you guys can just put Ace under, but she would heal she would heal after a few days, but she'll be up in 24 hours. So it's up to you.
Yeah, Vince's thinking is instead of, having her last memory be that she was being freezer burned and now suddenly waking up at a station and not knowing what happened last week, Vince would probably wait the next 24 hours, inform her about everything that's going on, and then both of them probably go under cryo on that second day or whatever.
You for every day you are out of cryo, you will relieve stress.
Okay.
So every day you're out, you can take one stress away. Every day you're in cryo, you can heal yourself, but you cannot take away stress. You have 7 days of travel. Hopefully it will clear all of your stress and all of your bad stuff in that time. And you can mitigate that how you want. If everybody ends up under by the time you get there, it will just be kitchens as you arrive into the area and everybody's in cryo sleep. You can wake them up with the push of a button, but out of the front of the monstro, you see it. This wooden planet, as they call it. And that's what it looks like. It's not shiny or steel. It's dull, like pine. And you can see greenery all over it. And more importantly, you are no longer the only trash freighter in this area. There are multiple trash freighters floating in, near, and around this station, this spherical repurposed station. Maybe hinting that now you know where this original trash freighter came from to pick y'all up the first time around. Just for reference, this is where y'all are headed, or you are now. This is Ross 627, which is the ice planet you left. It's not very far.
Wow.
Full circle.
Yeah.
Full circle, except y'all stole it. You stole this trash freighter.
We repurposed it for something better.
Desta called it.
It's fine.
Is anybody mad at the theft of a trash can? Really?
Well, who knows? These monks might be. And you're technically still dragging Shakespeare's station behind you. So
that's true too.
Lots of things going on up and in here, but we'll have to find out next week because we are definitely at time, everybody.
We are bringing so much technology to this wood planet. Like, hey, fuck you, monks. Have a space station. All right. That was an intense episode. That was all over the place. We were dying or nearly dying left and right here. Not by aliens, surprisingly enough. And finally, Dot's out of corruption.
Yay!
What a
Currently, I am out of corruption points.
What
everybody.
a safe world we live in right now. That being said, thank you guys for being here. Again, if you guys like what we do here and you want to support the channel, the best way to do that is over on Patreon. Link for that down below. While you're clicking on that link, join us in the Discord, be a part of the community, be a part of the conversation. But for now, we're going to get out of here. We're going to do our after show, which you can get on that aforementioned Patreon. So let's go around, do our introductions so we can scoot the fuck out of here. We'll start with Meta. Who are you? Where can we find you? What are you up to?
Hello, I am Meta, and I kill aliens by steering ships into them. Yay!
10 out of 10. Zach, same questions. Who are you? Where can we find you? What are you up to?
I am a person that can be found on the following channels. This one, the Arvin Eleron channel, and my own channel for various productions and things that require and are helped by eyeballs and ears. Thank you.
Well put. Well put.
I agree. Bub, who are you? Where can we find you? And what are you up to?
Hi, I'm Bub. You can find me on twitch.tv/Bub Talks. You can just look at Bub Talks anywhere and can find me doing things, pretending to be someone I'm not, making voices loud, having fun, laughing. Recently, I've decided to dig deep into writing some mechanics for games like this one, which I'm pairing actually with Dot, and we're going to be justifying a stress mechanic for synths. It's not a good thing. I promise it's not a
very,
good thing.
very bad thing.
Yeah, don't be thrilled or excited about it. But if you are just diving into an Alien RPG, you might like this, or you might loathe it. I don't know. I frankly don't care. I'm having way too much fun with it. But when I'm not here, I'm driving because I just bought a fucking car and it's sick. You
I
guys
saw
should
that.
also
It's
go buy a
dope.
car.
It's so dope.
Yeah, but that's it. That's me.
Great. I love all those things for you. I can't wait to see you take stress and actually have to panic. I want to see a synth panic. Don't panic on me. Don't shoot me. I don't want to die.
I want you to think back to Ridley Scott. Anytime a synth has panicked, and tell me if it's been something you've wanted to see.
No, Barden doesn't want it. I want it. I want to see it. That being said, Dot, our lovely game mother, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
Hi, friends. I'm Little Red Dot. You can find me where Little Red Dot's found. I'm here twice a week. I'm over at Kobold Press pretty much the rest of the time. And when I'm not there, I'm hanging out with some cool cats like Bub for my podcast. You can check out Pod by Night. We made the announcement. We finally can talk about the thing we haven't been able to talk about since June, which is if you are a fan of the original vampire show Bub and I were a part of, Sounds of Silence and Silence of Shadows, we are coming back and have been given permission to do the 3rd season over on our Pod by Night channel, not Roll For It, and you can check that out starting in December. So it is coming back for the Shadows of Sybil, which will be the close-out season of our original vampire game forever.
Where it all started.
Where it all started. So that's very, very exciting. And then if you miss the Drac Pack, which is our core Pod by Night crew, we'll be back with those vampire shenanigans moving from New York to Chicago in November. I believe our first drop is November 11th or 12th. Whatever that Friday is. Anyways, so lots of stuff coming down the pipelines, and I'm going to be out for a few weeks. I'll be here next week, but after that, I'm headed over to D3 at sea, and I'm going to go on a cruise to the Bahamas and play some games for a hot minute, and then I'll be back. Yeah,
it's
happening.
Yeah. So that means we're going to have like a week or 2 off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Probably the week before Thanksgiving, and I'm guessing the holiday week will be off too, Mike, right?
That is correct.
Right.
So plan accordingly, viewers, audience, community. But that's it for us. We're going to get the hell out of here, do our after show. You can check it out later tonight or maybe tomorrow on Patreon. Again, link down below. That's it from us. We'll see you guys next week for more shenanigans. From all of us to you guys, bye-bye.